Why is the pause so important in our everyday, ordinary lives? Good morning. My name is Father Frank Buckley, and I am the host of our morning meditation group, Flourishing During Times of Uncertainty. Welcome. I am delighted you are here with us in this extraordinary little community that stretches across the globe. And today I'd like to pick up on a theme that Ken introduced us to earlier, and it is this idea of the importance of the pause. And I'd like today for our inspiration, I've selected a little something from the big book that suggests a way for people who are nailed down by a myriad of addictions to pause, to put the brakes on, and to notice how that can actually shift our whole life. And if you're here this morning, there's a very good possibility that you have had an encounter with just how profound a simple pause can be in our ordinary life. So the meditation group is three parts. Our morning practice starts with a little inspiration. In all honesty, it's very difficult to just jump into meditation. However, if we have a little inspiration to get us going, it's helpful to be able to slow down, turn the gaze inwards, and experience the miracle of mindfulness, which is the second part, where we just sit down, engage our sacred word, and enjoy as a community around the United States, Los Angeles, the world. We just sit together in silence and give the first hour of the day to God through prayer and meditation. And as always, we conclude with a little Ignatian examen, Jesuit examen. And I will tell you, because I know we show up every morning, one thing the examen does that I haven't realized till I began this morning meditation group is that you kind of, as you go through the day, those moments where God comes alive, you start giving a little bit more of a nod to and saying, "Oh yeah, that can go as one of those things in the morning that I put in the box where something moved, where God showed up." A lot of times it's in unexpected ways. So, without further ado, let's move into the source of inspiration. Um, for people in recovery, pages 86 to 88 are often a way they begin their morning with making recovery a priority. Uh, but what I'm really interested, it's in the chapter Into Action. And I think it's a beautiful way for us to begin this morning. In thinking about our day, we may face indecisions. Sorry, let me get the volume up a little. Okay. In thinking about our day, we may face indecisions. We may not be able to determine which course to take. And here we ask God for inspiration, an intuitive thought, or even a decision. We relax and take it easy. Let me read that again, make sure we heard that right. We relax and take it easy. We do not struggle. We are often surprised how the right answer comes after we have tried this for a while. What used to be the hunch or the occasional inspiration gradually becomes a working part of the mind. But being still inexperienced and having just possibly made conscious contact with God, it is not probable that we are going to be inspired at all times. We might pay for this presumption in all sorts of absurd actions and ideas. Nevertheless, we find that our thinking will, as time passes, be more and more on the plane of inspiration. Actually, we come to rely on it. We conclude the period of meditation with a prayer that we be shown all through the day what our next step is to be, that we be given whatever we need to take care of such problems. We ask especially for freedom from self will and are careful to make no request for ourselves only. We may ask for ourselves, however, if others will be helped. We are careful never to pray for our own selfish ends, because many of us have wasted a lot of time doing that, and it simply does not work. You can easily see why. Now, here is the paragraph on the pause. As we go through the day, we pause. When agitated or doubtful, and ask for the right thought or action. We constantly remind ourselves that we are no longer running the show. Humbly saying to ourselves many times each day, "Thy will be done." We are then in much less danger of excitement, fear, anger, worry, self pity, or even foolish decisions. We become much more efficient. We do not tire so easily, for we are not burning up energy foolishly as we did when we were trying to arrange life to suit ourselves. It works, it really does. Amen. Thank you, Bill Wilson, for that little bit of inspiration. And I will tell you, I'm reading another book right now called this Abandonment to Divine Providence. Yes, Abandonment to Divine Providence, or another book. He wrote it, and different people have interpreted it. He was a Jesuit father, Jean Pierre de Caussade. I like the second title, The Sacrament of the Present Moment. And basically, he uses this, "Thy will be done." In each moment of our day, we turn our deepest desire, our will, to God, and we experience this beautiful sacrament in our lives. Thy will be done. All right, let's move to the meditation part of the program. And I do have just one little invitation before we begin. Yolanda Brown, our parish life administrator here at Blessed Sacrament, sent me a text this morning talking about the Ignatian Spirituality Network. And they have a beautiful, I believe, I need to get on and look at this myself, a weekly Monday novena for to end systemic racism. And even though it's already began, you can still join it. And then there is also, and I saw this the other day, and I will be joining it as well. There is a 21-day challenge to end systemic racism, I believe. So I invite you today, when it's convenient, to look into its Ignatian Spirituality Network, and please join our community at Blessed Sacrament, and become a part of it. And I believe you will be very happy you did. So, meditation should be three things: it should be effortless, it should be relaxing, it should be calm. So, wherever you find yourself, I invite you to begin by unplugging. I have the timer set for 20 minutes. Um, we'll begin and end with the sound of the bell. So, let's start. I invite you to lower your eyes or three-quarters closed, just something that feels comfortable and safe to you. Turn the gaze inwards. Take the attention to the breath, and we'll begin and end with the sound of the bell. Listen, listen. The sound of this beautiful bell returns us to our true home. As always, we begin with diaphragmatic breathing and a little grounding. So, just for the first couple minutes, I invite you to remove your shoes, place the soles of the feet on the Mother Earth, and we'll begin with diaphragmatic breathing, which is just breathing deeply as possible into the lower belly, in through the nose 3 times for the gift of groundedness. As a community, inhale, open mouth, exhale. Beautiful. 2 more times. Inhale and exhale. Last time, I invite you to put your hands on your belly and take the breath there. Inhale and slowly exhale. Beautiful. Continue to breathe on your own. Take the attention to the body. We start with the feet. Feel the feet pressed on to the green earth, our mother, and just feel her energy. And know that she may be trusted. Take the attention to the hands, wherever they are. Simply notice any sensations: warmth, tingling, coolness. Become aware of the sensations in the body. Gently relax the shoulders. Anything you've been holding on to, simply let go. Surrender. Turn it over to God. Moving towards the front of the body, we arrive at the heart, that beautiful place in our body where the spiritual world literally touches the physical world. I invite you to take the hands to the heart if you would like. Focus for a moment on something in your life that brings you a little joy. Could be a relationship, something beautiful in your surroundings, the smell of a candle. Just anything at all that brings you a little joy. And try and name it in one word. Gently place that word between your hand and your heart. Holding on to the joy. Let's breathe into the heart one time. Inhale and exhale. Gently release your hands and just notice what you feel. Finally, take the attention to the forehead, the seat of intuition, and focus on an intention for your meditation this morning. Something you desire deeply in your life today. Not being afraid to ask God for something new and beautiful. Please continue. Together, let's seal our intention with an inhale and exhale. Take the attention to the breath. Engage your sacred word a few times. Drop down and enjoy the miracle of mindfulness. Please continue. Nice and gently bring your attention back to the room. If the eyes were closed, go ahead, open the eyes. You can circle the wrists one way and the other. Excellent. Move the shoulders a little bit, anywhere there's a little tightness. Shake out anything you've been holding on to. And lastly, we'll just rub the hands next to the heart together, bringing a little oxytocin, the love hormone, into our bodies and our world. Excellent. All right, wonderful job, everyone. That concludes the morning meditation part of the program, of our morning practice, and now we'll move into the Jesuit, the Ignatian Examen. So we just step back and we look over the last 24 hours, and we notice where God came alive for us or where we might have missed God. So this morning, it is very easy examine for me to do. As I shared with you yesterday, I am getting ready to do my 8-day Zoom retreat that begins on the feast day of St. Ignatius, July 31st. And excuse me, yesterday, it was actually right after the our morning practice, my phone rang. And I used to be a bellman when I first got my cell phone, so I have a 408 area code, and 99.9999% of the calls I get, with the exception of probably Father Ray Allender, are junk calls or wanting, who knows what, sign up for this, sign up for that, um, insurance scams. So when I see 408, I usually just press decline. But something after the morning practice yesterday, I was just shooting a few comments back to people who had written in, and I decided to press, instead of the red button, the accept. And when I accepted, on the other end of the phone was Father Paul Fitterer, who is going to be my director on the 8-day retreat. So when Jesuits all do the retreat, they send you a list of possibilities of people you can choose to be your director. And when I got it, I saw his name, and I've never met Paul, but I've heard so many great things about him. He was my friend Joe Labree's director during tertianship, and he's just like a guru on Ignatian spirituality. And my hunch was, I'll give it a try, but he's probably going to sell out really quickly. And when I picked the phone up yesterday, I couldn't believe it was him on the other end telling me he was going to be my director. And we got to do a little, just a little introduction. I told him a little bit about my life, and he told me a little bit about his life. And what really stood out, like, God is also a God of coincidences, and God touches our desires in ways even we cannot imagine. And two things that really caught my heart was, one, he is reading a book that I've only heard about but never read, called Unlikely Companions, and it's a relationship with Carl Jung and St. Ignatius of Loyola, and Jungian psychology and the spiritual exercises. So certainly more to come on that. And then when we were finishing up, he told me he was 89 years old. And I have to tell you, it completely blew me away. One of the sharpest people I could ever talk to. And as I've been doing a lot of work looking at neuroplasticity, and that the brain continues to grow and emerge throughout the lifetime. And this is certainly the case with this Father Paul Fitterer. Um, just remarkable. So after that, when I was thinking kind of about today and the examine, couple things just to remind you, starting July 31st, that's a Friday, we'll start at 8, but if you can't, it'll still be recorded and you can pick it up at 9. So if you're new to the program, we also try to build a little community. So if God's shown up for you in a beautiful way and you'd like to share it with us, we would love to hear about it. You can just, on Facebook, there's a little space for comments. Throw a comment in there, tell the community hello. I really always say Blessed Sacrament is the gem of Hollywood, but there's something I feel particularly blessed to be part of this community, to really have an opportunity to experience, to reimagine a miracle in all of our lives. So, on that note, have a beautiful rest of the day, and I look forward to seeing you on Friday. God bless.